I think it's so funny when it says that. Recording in progress. So we are on.
Day 18.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. 18. Moving on up.
I'm gonna go first with listening to spirit. So, um, I got a message that your ancestors and spirit is protecting you. It's okay to be scared and also trust that you're taken care of when you're facing fears. And I think it really correlates to today's. I always find it funny because I listen to spirit before I open up and like read the the quote, and it's so funny when they're so aligned because I feel like that's like we walk by faith, not by sight is kind of the same thing, which is like we're going to be in these paths where we can't see ahead of us, or we don't know what's coming or whatever. But when we trust and we know that we're taken care of, we are. That's what faith is. And I think faith is like so beautiful. And, um, I got believe tattooed on my wrist for that thing because I just feel like there's something so magical about believing. Um, and trusting spirit. And so that's kind of what like I heard today was like when you're scared and when the road is unsure and you don't think that you can go on or that you feel cowardly or anything like that and you just don't know if you're capable, like just trust that you're protected and you're on the right path, and like it's okay to be scared, just keep moving forward.
That sounds good. That's really good. It's just like having, blind faith. Everybody's like, why do we believe in something we can't see? How do you believe that you're alive? How do you believe that you're here? You have to believe that you're here, right? You have to know that
Yeah.
you're here. So it's just the same thing to me.
I always really liked flags because flags are proof that wind exists. And like to me, that like is the kind of premise of what faith is. Like you can't see what's moving the flag, but you know that something's there. And I feel like that's kind of like spirit to us when we are on a journey. Like when we get stuck, we feel very terrible, but when we're moving, even when we're scared, like we like having that faith of going forward, whether it's like you use the word spirit or love or like whatever. I feel like that's kind of what keeps us moving and floating and flying and moving, expanding and growing, and um the path lit even when we feel like it's just complete darkness. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So absolutely. Um, so for mine, as I was like pulling cards or pulling a card, I just heard over and over, trust the process. Trust the process. Which makes sense for everything that happened before this call and in the future, like trust the process, like trust in the process. And because like sometimes our ego wants to step in, which is what is it, um X off that movie you haven't watched, I think he was talking about the X.
oh, part X.
Yeah.
Part X is the same as ego, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like, is he just talking about ego but he calls it part X? I was like, that's cool.
I love that. Yeah.
um So then the card that flew out was, I want to harmonize with my desire. Anytime you feel negative emotion, stop and say, something is important here. Otherwise, I would not be feeling this negative emotion. What is it that I want? And then simply turn your attention to what you do want. In the moment you turn your attention to what you want, the negative attraction will stop. And in the moment the negative attraction stops, the positive attraction will begin. And in that moment, your feeling will change from not feeling good to feeling good. That is the process of pivoting. That's deep. I like that.
Pivoting. Awesome.
Pivot.
It's always good to get curious when things like when you're in the middle of a storm or whatever, it's always good to be like curious about what's really happening underneath the surface. So
Exactly. Exactly. Are you going to read the quote for today?
we walk by faith, not by sight. Corinthians 5:7.
Exactly. It's like having the blind faith and
Mhm.
trust.
Right.
Um,
Totally.
huh?
Totally.
Oh, totes, man, totes. Identify something you often say or think almost automatically that inhibits or limits your experience of abundance. And then share what that is with your partner. And now, and then we'll say it out loud. I am fulfilled.
My thing is like I say like I need to figure when I don't say the full unconscious part, but I always say I need to figure it out. Like I need to figure it out. But like the second part of this is like by myself. Like a lot of it, like anytime I ever say I need to figure out what I to do next, or I need to figure out my path, or I need to figure out my purpose, or whatever the thing is I have like that feels like the block, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I have to figure it out. But the problem is the unconscious belief is that I have to figure it out by myself. And I never ask, right? So like I feel like there's a point of like where I'm learning in this current iteration of my like life is like asking for help, like asking, like actually praying out loud and being like, okay, universe, okay, spirit, like this is, I'm trying to figure out XYZ. I'm not really sure where to go. Like, point me in the right direction and I'll do it, you know, or whatever. But I don't do that. I always just like, I'm like, okay, I'm like stressed out and I'm like, I need to figure it out. And then I go and I do planning or I do, you know what I mean? Like, get busy
Yeah.
and like kind of like try to figure it out when I really the really most times when I actually figure it out, when I actually get epiphanies or breakthroughs, or as that like pivot, like you know what I mean, like when I pivot is only comes from like pausing, take a breath and say, okay, universe, like I need help here figuring this out because like what's that Albert Einstein close, the same thinking that got you into the mess isn't the same thinking that's going to get you out of it. And so when we're in a mess with our own mind, like our thinking more about it is not what's going to help the situation. Pausing, breathing, and like getting into a creative mindset, getting into the, or even like not thinking about it, right? So like when you have a word on the tip of your tongue, like what's that word, and then you think really hard, like that's when you can't think of it. But like when you go and you do something else and then you're like, oh, I got it now, because you like take your mind off of it and you relax, because that figuring it out is like control and like you're gripped onto it and you're like, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to force this, but that doesn't really work. Like that kind of control doesn't work. You have to surrender, right? That's the surrendering of like, okay, I don't know what it is right now, but
Yeah.
I know I trust that it'll come and I'm just going to surrender and then go do something that like relaxes my mind or focus on something else in a like a surrendering, letting go kind of way. Um, and that's when usually like the epiphanies or insights come or breakthroughs come. So
Yeah. That's also with the surrendering and trusting the process.
exactly. Yeah, totally. So I feel like so mine is I have to figure it out by myself, and now I know I am fulfilled and I don't have to figure it out myself. I have help and I'm taken care of and protected by my ancestors.
Exactly. Exactly. Mine is the failure. Like I know yesterday as I was setting stuff up and it wasn't going right, and I was like, I'm gonna fail. I'm already failing. You know, like that word just for some reason just kept getting stuck, or I'm just not gonna. It just mostly fail or failure, like kept coming up, and um, I literally had to breathe through it because like I was just overwhelmed. I was like, I was supposed to do this days ago, and see, I'm already failing, and where, you know, the ego was coming in.
Yeah.
Um and it's like almost automatic. And I think like that's the one thing that ego has like a strong pull on when it comes to that. I is that those words, because I remember I've had that word for a long time. Like it was either failure or not good enough. Like that, those are the two words that I'm gonna fail, or I'm not good enough. I'm not gonna be good enough, or I'm gonna fail. Because I do remember saying that long time ago, even to, you know, my other cousin, where I said I didn't feel like I was good enough for my dad, you know, and so I think it stems from that. And now it's like I guess I want it so bad that the, you know, ego trying to protect me is just saying I'm not good enough, but I know I'm good enough, and I'm going to trust the process.
Yeah.
So I know that now, pivoting, I'm going to pivot when that comes up and let the process flow while I'm pivoting the to know to saying I'm not good enough to saying I am good enough, and it'll happen in divine timing because
Yeah.
I am fulfilled now.
Yeah. One of the things that really helped me in that situation was, well, what does failure look like? You know, getting curious about, what does failure look like? What does it mean to fail? Like, what would, if I failed, what would that mean? And when I really got down to it, I realized failure would mean that I just didn't complete it and not do it. That would be failure, because if I kept trying and doing, even if it wasn't good enough per se, at least I did it.
Right.
And then I realized, like, if I fail, I'm going to keep trying because this is where I'm called to do. I feel joy when I do these things. I feel joy when I help. I get excited about like teaching people and guiding people to the relief and like the joy that I feel now compared to when I was in that self-loathing, you know, and hating myself. And then I realized, like, okay, so the only way that I could technically fail is if I don't do it. And so if I'm doing it, I'm succeeding, because it doesn't matter if it's good or not. I'm doing it. That's success, because if it's not failure, right? If it's not failure, what is it? It's success. And so one step at a time is success. And then I started to realize, like, you know, this not good enough thing is, like you said, ego trying to protect me from uncertainty. And as you watched the movie last night, and pain too, because in the past, you're talking about your dad, like in the past we got pain for like not being good enough because we got not good enough grades, or we, you know, whatever, got like didn't get any attention unless we got really good grades, right? Like the opposite could be true as well. But in this situation, it's this uncertainty because we're not sure if this random hypothetical person will watch our content and be like, this is terrible, or you know what I mean? But it's like,
Yeah.
but also success is, if one person likes your stuff and gets something out of it, is it successful or is it a failure? Because one person doesn't like it, but one person loved it and it helped
Right.
them.
Right.
To me, that's success. You know, it's hard to accept like the one person that hated it, but at the same time, as long as one person gets this information, and the real failure to people or society would be to not do it, because you have a gift, we have all have gifts that need to be presented to the world however we it comes out, right? Whether we're making art, or we're going to a corporation and working our job and like coming home to our family or whatever, the success is actually just showing up and doing your best, and that's success. And so I feel like we forget a lot of times, because we get so focused on the fear of pain or rejection or failure or abandonment or whatever. But really, if you pull back and you get curious about, what does failure actually mean to you? What does failure look like? What would it mean to fail? You can then kind of be like, take the pressure off and say, okay, so then if that's failure, am I failing? And the answer is generally probably no, because you're trying. And
Right.
so if that's the case, if you're not failing, then what's really afraid of? Well, it's really kind of maybe the shadow work of it feels scary to put yourself out there because it's risky and it's uncertain. But like at the same time, what's more a failure, not doing it and helping people that you could help and staying safe, or getting yourself out there, being in the arena and having some people be like, this is shit. And then other people being like, this is really amazing. And I really love this. Thank you. This helped me. You know what I mean? To me, staying in the comfort zone and safety feels more like failure than putting myself out there and making mistakes. Because my thing is like, I always want people to realize like we're human, every single one of us, and we make mistakes, and we're going to. And we weren't taught from a young age that mistakes were okay. We were taught to be perfect, and that perfection is perpetuating harm, not only to other people, but to ourselves.
Right.
And so in order to like move past that, we have to just like accept these like small victories of small steps, and like it's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't mean it's not good. 75% is still good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just better than not doing. And even if you fail,
Yeah,
it's better than not doing.
exactly. And so like that's
Let's,
what like has helped me, is to get curious about like what does failure mean to me, because when I have it in, when you have it in perspective, when you have blinders on and you're fearful of this thing and your ego is like, this thing, it's scary, don't like, what we have to do is we have to like, get bigger. We have to zoom out, kind of
yeah,
turn on the light and really look at it and say, okay, fear, okay, ego, and realize that your ego was trained when you were a young kid, and you're no longer a young kid, so there's no reason for that ego to be online anymore. But the only way to shut off the ego is to turn on the light, because it needs to not be scared. And so I feel like that's a total normal fear and totally normal experience to have, that automatic response wise. And I know I went through that personally as well. And I think sharing your story will actually help people a lot, because it's true. Like when we do anything new, it's very scary, and we tend to focus on perfectionism and not being good enough, or rejection. Like my fear all the time, I guess my rumination or fantasy, like, when you daydream, one or night, it would be a night dream or it would be a day mare or something like that, where I like think about something where it's like, my fear is like I create this thing and then there's people who come at me because it's wrong, or like I said something that's like not okay and like I offended people or whatever it might be, or like, attack me because I'm doing, putting myself out there. That's my fear. But like at the same time, like, I can always grow from that and teach somebody, like, I'm not perfect and I'm learning, and thank you for pointing out whatever it is that they're pointing out. I'm going to grow from this and like learn more about this to see if I can do better,
right,
because, I'm not I'm not 100% wrong because I made something that had a mistake in it, but I can correct it and move forward.
right. Absolutely.
So I am fulfilled now.
I am fulfilled now.
So the river guide says, remember our inhibitions seem real in what we are thinking, saying, believing, acting, and what attitude we have about ourselves. So remember that our inhibitions live or seem real in what we are thinking, saying, believing, acting, and what attitudes we have about ourselves.
Which is why this card really plays in part with this, where you can pivot it. Like we get in those moments and we're like, oh, yesterday I said like, oh, I should have, been more grateful as I was handing my rent check, or, but no, it's okay. Like you said, time is irrelevant. We're living in the past, present, and future right now, and we can, change that. Um, and then it's like, so in the moment, like when I am thinking of like feeling like a failure, I can, like you said, ask myself, what does failure actually look like? Or if it's not failure, then it's success. And it's like I'm succeeding because I'm actually doing it, like through the fear.
Exactly.
So, it's okay. We can and will pivot through those moments. It's okay, like those moments will come up, like negative thoughts will come up, but you have to practice, because like when you're so used to just being negative or so used to those negative thoughts, but now you have to practice a new pattern. Like when they come up, like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm not a failure, I'm successful. Like to switch those, or ask yourself questions. Like when you're like, we talked about this before, where um there's different ways to look at it, like different things to say. So example, if you want to buy something and you don't have the money, or you do have the money, you just don't want to spend that money, you could just be like, instead of, like you said, you could say, what if I bought that, or what if I
Right.
buy that. Or another thing I've learned is to say, instead of I can't afford it, like if you can't, then you could say, how can I afford it? Instead of saying I can't afford it, how can I
That's a good
afford it?
one.
Because then it makes your brain, instead of your brain shutting down, because saying I can't afford this just shuts your brain down. But if you say, how can I afford this? Or what can I do to afford this? Then all these different like ideas will start popping up in your head. So that embodiment of, abundance is like going to start popping up in your head. And you're going to like, oh, I could get a second job, or, oh, I could start my own business because I'm talented in this or this. So it's like,
Right.
there's many different ways to play with it, instead of just letting your brain shut down in the negativity.
Right. Totally. You want to be the, I totally agree. I think that that's a good one. I like the how can I, like the creative. I love going from victim mindset of like, I can't do this, to how can I love questions and curiosity, because I think it gets us in the creative mindset, and it also gives our ego a task, because I always believe our ego is called the humble servant. And so when you don't give your ego a task, it creates its own task, and so it gets like anxiety or whatever, focuses on something that maybe not isn't that great to be focusing on, and it's actually not conducive to whatever goals you're trying to achieve. So like giving your ego a task of like asking it, so how can this be better, how can my life get better, how can miracles happen for me, how could good things come to me, like asking questions like that is always like giving your ego, when you ask questions, the ego loves that, like
Yeah,
it's like, yes, good shit.
absolutely. Yeah, I've heard that before, where it's like, we our brain ego will pretty much shut our brain down if we say like, oh, I can't afford this. Like you just kind of shut down. It just, you move on. But
Right.
if you ask, what can I do to afford this, or how can I afford this, and change that thought process, because then it, like you said, it makes your ego start working instead of shutting down.
Awesome.
So I acknowledge and thank spirit overflowing me as the money, credit cards, plants, fishermen, shopkeepers, cooks, natural gas, truck drivers, friends and families, and Mother Earth for participating in every meal and every product I use today. Today, I am especially acknowledging telephones.
Yay. I acknowledge and thank Goddess Endless Me as the money, credit cards, plants, fishermen, shopkeepers, cooks, natural gas, truck drivers. Uh, what else am I grateful for? McDonald's. And Anna, who's coming to take pictures today for me. And today I'm especially acknowledging telephones.
Whoop, whoop.
So today I'm going to use the word goddess, and my abundance word is overflowing. Goddess overflowing.
Oh, we get to use a abundance word today.
Yeah. Do you want fertile again?
No, I'm actually feeling overflowing today.
As goddess too, or
Um, yeah, I'll do that one.
goddess overflowing double time? Would you like to go first?
Yeah, you went first yesterday, so I'll go first today. I know the divine goddess I am is abundance, so I am abundance. I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as goddess overflowing me now.
Samantha, you know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Good, because I know the divine goddess I am is abundance, so I am abundant. I love all the abundance I see in form as goddess overflowing me now.
You know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Exactly, because I know the divine goddess I am is abundance, so I am abundance. I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in the form of goddess overflowing me now.
Samantha, I see you, and you know you are goddess. Goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Well, good, because I know the divine goddess I am is abundance. So I am abundance. And I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as goddess overflowing me now.
So good. You know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly. Because I know that I am divine goddess. I am also abundance. So I am abundance. And I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see and form as goddess overflowing me now.
Samantha, you know you are goddess to the bone, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance, unlimited supply.
Exactly. Because I know divine goddess I am is abundance. So I am abundance. I love perfect goddess me completely. And I love all the abundance I see in form of goddess overflowing me now.
Samantha, you know you are. Deep in your heart, you know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly, because I know divine goddess I am. I know the divine goddess that I am is abundance. So I am abundance. And I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as goddess overflowing me now.
I see you. You know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly, because I know that I, Samantha, am the divine goddess that I am, and I am abundance. So abundance is me. And I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as goddess overflowing me now.
I see you, Samantha. You know you are goddess. Goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly. Oh, keep getting downloads, baby. I know the divine goddess I am is abundance. So I am abundance, and I love divine goddess me completely. And I know that I'm perfect. I love all the abundance I see in the form as goddess overflowing me now.
You know you are goddess, Samantha, and goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly. Because I know the divine goddess I am is abundance. So I, me personally, am abundance. And I love, not loved, I love, loved, love, and love. Perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form of goddess overflowing me now.
You know you are goddess, and goddess you is the only and constant source, unending source, endless source of abundance now.
And this is the last one. I know the divine goddess I am is abundance. So I, me, am abundance. And I love perfect goddess me completely. I love all the abundance I see in the form of goddess overflowing me now.
Samantha, you know you are goddess. Goddess you is the only and constant source of abundance. You know the divine goddess you are uh, is is abundance. So you are abundance.
Tongue
Who
twister, I
says it?
know. I know. I was
You
good.
know the goddess, you know the divine goddess you are is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
I know because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only constant source of abundance.
True. You know the divine goddess you are is abundance. And so you are at abundance. And you love perfect goddess you completely, wholly, truly. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I know I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
You know the divine goddess you are, Samantha, is abundance. And so you, Samantha, are abundance. You love perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I know I am God. I am a goddess. I am the goddess, and goddess me is the only constant source of abundance.
True. You know the divine goddess you are is abundance. And so you, Samantha, are abundance
I am.
completely. You love perfect goddess you completely, and you love all the abundance you see and don't see as goddess overflowing you.
See, don't see. Because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
I see you. You know that the divine goddess you are is abundance. So you are abundance. You love goddess you completely with your whole heart. You are in love with all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I know that I am a goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Awesome. So, Samantha, you know the divine goddess you are is abundance equals abundance. You are. And you love perfect goddess you completely, wholly, every single aspect. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
I do because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
So true.
Amen. Amen, sister.
You know the divine goddess you are is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance you see and don't see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
So much abundance, so many abundant words. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in this sentence. You know the divine goddess you are, Samantha. So you equal abundance. You love perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now. Now, 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 now.
Exactly, because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
So much truth in that statement. You know in your heart of hearts the divine goddess you are in form is abundance. So you are abundance. You love yourself, goddess you completely. You also love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Truth. Is this the last one?
No, we have two more.
Okay, never mind. You know the divine goddess you are is abundance. So you, Samantha, are abundance. You are in love with perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance and unlimited supply you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I know that I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant form of abundance. Now is the last one.
Okay. Samantha, you know the divine goddess you are is abundance. And so that means that you, Samantha, are abundance. And you love perfect goddess you completely. You love all the abundance you see in form as goddess overflowing you now.
Exactly, because I am goddess, and goddess me is the only and constant source of abundance in my life.
Nice. I'm changing my words to spirit and millions.
Okay.
We got enough goddess and overflowing for Okay. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, so I am abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me. Now,
Well, I see you, Megan. You know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
it's true. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, and so I am abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me. Now,
I'm going to go to get my house done.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Good, because you, Megan, know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
it's true. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, so I am abundance. Did you know that, Samantha? I love perfect spirit me completely, every single aspect. And I am in love with all the abundance I see as spirit millions me.
Great, because I know and you know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
It's true. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, and so I'm abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely. And I love all of the abundance I see in form as spirit million me.
Exactly, because I know you, Megan, are a spirit, abundant spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
It's true. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, so I am abundant. I love perfect spirit me completely, wholly, wholeheartedly, and I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me. Now,
Yeah, exactly. Because I see you, Megan. And I see that you know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
it's true. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, wholeheartedly. And so I am abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely. And I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit million me.
Exactly, because I see you, Megan. I see that you know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance in your life now and forevermore.
True. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, and so I'm abundance. I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me now. I love perfect spirit me completely.
Good, because I see that you know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
It's true. I know that you know that I know the divine spirit I am is abundance. So I'm abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely, wholly, 100%, every aspect, good, bad, ugly, and everything in between. I love all the abundance in form I see and don't see as spirit millions me now.
Exactly, because I know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
It's true. So 100% true, because I know the divine spirit I am is abundance equals abundance. And so I'm abundance. I love and I'm in love with perfect spirit me completely. I love all the abundance and unlimited supply I see in form as spirit millions me now.
Exactly. And I know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant form and source of abundance.
True. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance. So I am abundance. I love spirit me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me now. Was that the last one?
I think we have just one more.
Excuse me.
You know you are a spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant source of abundance.
True. Last one. I know the divine spirit I am is abundance, so I am abundance. I love perfect spirit me completely. I love all the abundance I see in form as spirit millions me now.
Exactly, because you know that you are spirit, and spirit you is the only and constant form of abundance.
Mhm.
And you know that the divine spirit the divine spirit you are and is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you completely and wholeheartedly. You love all the abundance you see and form as spirit millions you now.
I know I am spirit, and spirit I am. Spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly, because you know the divine spirit you are abundance. So you is abundance and you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you completely. You love the abundance you see. Sorry. No, sorry. You
That's
love
just-
all the abundance you see and form as spirit millions you now.
It's true. I know I am spirit, Samantha, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly, because you know the divine spirit you is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you completely. You love all the abundance you see and form as spirit millions you now in this moment and forevermore.
It's true. I know I am spirit. Spirit is me, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Exactly, because you know the divine spirit you is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you completely and wholeheartedly. You love the abundance you see in the form as spirit millions you now.
True. I know I am spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant, endless, unlimited source of abundance.
Good, because I know that you know the divine spirit you is abundance. So you are abundance. And you love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love the abundance you see in the form as spirit millions you in this moment now and forevermore.
It's true. I know I'm spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Exactly. Because you know the divine spirit you is abundance. So you are abundance. And you love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love all the abundance you see in the forms of spirit millions you in this moment now and forevermore.
It's true. I know I'm spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Exactly. Because you know the divine spirit you is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love the abundance you see in the form of spirit millions you now.
It's true. I know I am spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance now.
1 second, I gotta blow my nose. It is dripping when I sneeze. Well, good, because I know that you are the divine spirit you are. And because of that, it's you are abundance. And so you are abundance because you know that you're abundance. You love perfect spirit you completely. You love all the abundance you see in the forms of spirit millions you now.
I am spirit. Spirit is me, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Exactly. And you know the divine spirit you are is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love all the abundance you see in the forms of spirit millions you now.
I know I am spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance now.
Exactly, because you know the divine spirit you are is abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love all the abundance you see in the forms of spirit millions you in this moment now.
I know I am spirit, and spirit is me, and spirit me is the only constant source, only and constant source of abundance.
Good, because you know the divine spirit you are and is the abundance. So you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. You love all the abundance you see in the forms of spirit millions you in this moment now.
True. I know I am spirit, and spirit is me. Spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance.
Good, because you know,
Is this
the
the
div-
last one?
yeah, you know the divine spirit you is abundance, so you are abundance. You love perfect spirit you wholeheartedly and completely. And you love all the abundance you see in forms of spirit millions you in this moment now.
I know I'm spirit, and spirit me is the only and constant source of abundance, unending, limitless supply now.
Exactly.
Woo! Okay, before we move on to feeling into the check, I want to talk to you about the exercise so far when your alarm goes off. Have you been breathing for 3 minutes?
Yes.
How's it
I
been
missed
going?
the 6 o'clock one. I was like asleep still. I was like, no, I'm gonna give up. But
Okay.
then I did the 9 o'clock one. And I did the 9 o'clock one last night too.
How do you feel?
Well, because there was a little trouble in paradise. So it wasn't as heartfelt. And then this morning it was a lot better. Like I still felt into it. And then this morning it was more excitement and joy.
That's good. Yeah, it was nice to be reminded to like breathe and feel into it. So I got the first last night at 9 o'clock, I felt really into it. This morning at 6 o'clock, I felt really into it. And then just at 9 o'clock, I was like not feeling it as much because I was like getting ready for the call.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I feel like it's going really well. And so I'm excited.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like I did a little makeup. So the alarm went off as I was doing makeup. So I was like doing my mascara, like but visualizing it and feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, man, I got $5,000 and like I'm visualizing paying off the taxes and my credit card and my loan, and it's like it just felt so good to see all those zeros.
Yep. And I have 204 followers as of today. So almost there. So we're going for my manifestation is, I know it's coming, 1,000 followers. It's coming on TikTok. So that I can go live and help people. All right. So let's breathe into this. We're gonna really feel it. Here it goes, scribbling it out, handing it over to you. Here's your check. Put it in the bank. See those numbers in the bank? $64,000. Feel it, feel it, feel it.
Yep, I'm feeling it. I just handed you a $64,000 check too.
Smell the abundance.
I smell it. I smell it. Oh, I feel it. Money smells weird.
$64,000. Mm, mm.
That's good. That's good. I don't need to do anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I just
Yeah.
just live in that moment.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna write a check to my mortgage. And that would be almost paid off. It's like half of my mortgage.
Oh wow.
Let me just feel this, like hand it over. Thank you very much. This is my house. This is my house. Woo.
Exactly. Hold on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Lucky was like dry heaving.
That's good. All right. Tell me what you're gonna spend your money on and then feel into it.
Okay, so I know I put like 10,000 on the loan that's in my parents' name, and
Mhm.
so that like left with like 35,000 or so. So I'm gonna pay that off, and that just feels amazing to know that that's one less struggle for like my parents to worry about. And then that leaves me with $29,000. Remember, I put like 6,000 on a car. Well, I didn't say specific what that car is, but I want a SUV Tesla. So I am putting the rest of the $29,000 on the payment for the Tesla. So Tesla's running about
Nice.
70,000, I think. So
What color is it? What color is your Tesla?
my Tesla is a blue.
Mm.
Yeah.
Driving off the lot?
Mm-hmm.
Feels good.
Yeah. I just like it's almost like self-driving type of thing.
How do your parents feel after you pay off the rest of their loan?
Very happy and excited, and just you could see so much relief. And then like I had also paid off their house and like a few of their other debts yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to not only feel my joy, but I'm feeling and seeing their joy as well.
And their pride in you, huh? They're proud of you.
Yes, because I am fulfilled and worthy now.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.